Very good morning, ma'am. Today we are gonna brainstorm on the topic of evolutionary computation. First step of DT is empathizing, understanding the problem and the user needs. So when imagine, let us be a person working on a delivery system which is gonna be in a crowded city. We have multiple routes. We need to find the easiest route. We need to find the fuel efficiency. How can we reduce fuel consumption? And we need to give the food or the process or the parcel as soon as possible. So for this, the normal traditional algorithm fails because it has multiple search areas, it has multiple options, multiple routes to search from. For this evolutionary computation helps it now, because evolutionary computation is just a very wider space and it helps the computation process really easy by giving the already computed values and making it very clear for the user to design the whole system.
So this is a good concept also. So now we can define the real challenge, right? So we have a challenge here, like we have algorithms to do this operation, but that algorithm fails when go for the complex and dynamic environments. So here we have a fuel consumption and crowded city. So the city will be a dynamic environment and the crowded town will be a complex system. So for that, here the evolution concept helps by giving the multiple concepts with the multiple optimal solutions. So we have a multiple population data set here, and from that data set we can choose the optimal solution. So here the real challenge is how you design an intelligent system for finding out the optimal solution in this complex and dynamic environment. So this will be your real challenge. So here the algorithms in this computation evolutionary helps to find out the solutions. So we will discuss further. So can you start with the components or next stage of this brainstorming?
From exploring the ideate and concepts in, we are explaining about genetic algorithm, survival of the fittest, genetic inheritance. In that we are having 5 components in genetic algorithm. They are mutation, population, and representation, crossover. Like that, there are 5 stages. In selection, they are selecting the individual person for reproduction. In mutation, all random portions are selected.
Very good. So this comes from our genetic evaluation. So we have 2 set of parents. The parents will be from different community or different side. That parents will be selected, fine-tuned, and from that parent we will select the chromosomes, that is X and Y chromosomes. From that X and Y chromosomes we will go for the crossover. From that crossover we will go for the mutation. Mutation is nothing but finding of the optimal component which we require for our solution. So these are the 5 stages, and finally there will be a outcome of that process. So these are the 5 stages which she was sharing. And next we'll go for the next step.
Ma'am, let's apply easy to the robot optimization problem. A robot must be shorter path from start to achieve goal without any avoiding obstacles, and it has 6 process: initialize population, evaluate fitness, selection, crossover, mutations, and iterations. First, initialization problem: generate random paths, evaluate fitness, short collision path, get higher scores, and selection, choose better paths, and crossover, combine parts of 2 paths, and mutation, slightly modify paths, and iteration, repeat until optimal path is found. Visualization idea: show multiple paths evolving over generation, poor path disappear and better one survive.
In testing stage, we evaluating and refining the solution. Now we perform matrix, convergence speed, solution accuracy and robustness. We can easily handling the observations like non-linear problems, multiple object optimizations, uncertain environments. However, we may require high computations time. Results are not exactly possible.
Okay. So we have few algorithms. Can anyone tell me the algorithms? Any idea?
In the traditional algorithm, we cannot have a dynamic For robots, there may be an obstacle in between. So we need to see the dynamic environment and it needs to act properly. For that, the evolutionary system, it collects the data from the environment and it changes itself to make the process even more simpler and make it efficient.
So thank you for joining this brainstorming. I think you will be now very have a very clarity view on this evolution concept. So thank you for joining.